All right, welcome to another interesting Awake series conversation. What an interesting time it has been. The last couple of episodes we've heard, and today promises to be no different. All right, so let me just share the live link so that we can have people join us. So as you join us, just let us know where you're watching from and the city you're watching in from and where you're joining from. I'm so glad to have us here today. All right, I'm so excited and pumped up, right? Because we always look forward to the opportunity to be able to speak to entrepreneurs, business owners, right? I believe that one of the things lacking is not potential, right? That's why we have activate series, right? It's that those potential are not put to proper use, right? We've not come to fully discover those potential and all of them. Okay, so I look forward to a robust conversation this morning. I look forward to a robust conversation this morning, right? Our guest will be joining us soon, and trust me, you are in for a time this morning. So just stay tuned. Make sure you share the link. We are live, so just make sure that you share the link to everyone who needs to be here. It's important, that they do not miss this session for today. So yeah, so pardon me. I'm also sharing the link and making sure that everyone who needs to be here is here this morning, right? So please do let me know again where you are joining us from. I'd like to connect with you, and get to know you. So just put it in the chat. It's going to be an interesting, amazing time today. We cannot talk about this topic enough when it talks to leadership in business. It is very important, right? Because I mean, as entrepreneurs, as business people, we have different ideas, right? But unlike but we need to have structures and systems in place, right? So how do we handle these things? Some of us are very good starters. Some people call it what do they call it now? All this you know where they have emotions. I'm trying to remember the name, where you have sanguine and the rest of them, right? I'm trying to remember the collective name for it. So the people name it different things, right? But it's very important for us to be able to start something and finish it, right? Yeah, so we're going to be looking at all those today, right? From how to handle your team members, because look, I believe that your team members are simply a mirror or reflection of you, right? So it is very important for us to be able to handle our team members, really well by the way we lead ourselves, right? Yeah. So just in any moment from now, our guest Val Okafor will be joining us live. He's a human capital development expert. I've listened to him speak over and over and again, and trust me, like I said before, you are in for an amazing time, right? So just go ahead and share the link, share the link. Let's get as many people that needs to be here, because listen, this morning program is really, really going to be a game changer for you and your business. Information is power. Information is power, right? And I believe that yes, there's a lot of information right now on the internet, on the web, and everywhere. But the question is, do you have the right kind of information you need, specific kind of information for your business that's going to take it to the next level, right? So there's information everywhere, but how do we sieve this information to make sure that we get the right information we need for our businesses? All right. Yeah, so just a minute. So, like I said, as you're joining us, please let us know where you're joining from. Let us know where you're joining from. I'd like to know. I'd like to know. I'd like to know. Welcome to everyone. Welcome to everyone. Welcome, 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 welcome. Okay. All right. So let me just put a call through and check in on our speaker again. Okay. So let's talk a bit about the topic, right? So um, while our speaker, we're waiting for our speaker to join us. Please pardon me. I think he has some network difficulty joining. You know, uh, but while we're waiting for him to join us, let's talk a bit, about this topic, right? Leadership in business, leading yourself before leading others. Now, like we know, the foundation, right? Let's look at self leadership. When we talk about leading your thoughts, actions, emotions, and habits, right? Doing what needs to be done even when you do not feel like. Okay. Yeah. So okay, our guest speaker is here, and I will be adding him to the stage very soon. I hope he can hear me. We're just, talking around the topic, and just discussing just before he joined us, right? Yeah, so most of the time, you discover that we are moving from motivation to discipline to systems, right? So it's okay to start from motivation. You could hear something, you could be pumped up, just like after this meeting, you could hear really interesting stuff that could pump you up, right? But the question is, are you disciplined enough to follow through? And not just discipline, right? Do you have systems also to make sure that you follow through till the end? All right. That is very, very, very important. Okay. So I'm just waiting to confirm from our speaker if he can hear me. I see him already join the stage, and I'm glad to have him here. Okay. All right. So let me introduce our speaker. He's already live here. Yes, I can see your video, sir, but I don't know if your audio. I can't hear you. Okay, maybe when I add you up stage, maybe it will be better, right? Yeah. So, but yeah. So let's just go ahead because of time and just welcome our speaker for this morning. So I'm bringing you up on stage. Good morning, sir. Can you hear me?
Good morning, Mr. Collins. I can hear you. I don't know if you can hear me.
Okay. Yes, I can hear you loud and clear too. I can hear you.
Fantastic.
All right. Thank you.
Fantastic.
Thank you so much
Yeah.
for being here this morning. Such a privilege to
I
have you. So
appreciate
quickly,
you.
I'm just going to read up the profile of our speaker, and then we just go into our chat for this morning. Valo Kafo is a certified human capital development expert and a globally recognized youth development professional with over a decade of proven experience empowering Africa's young population. Renowned as a transformational speaker and social innovator, he brings cutting-edge strategies that drives measurable growth for individuals and organizations, equipping them to thrive in an ever-evolving marketplace. His actionable insight and forward-thinking solutions deliver more than knowledge; they create real-world impact. As the Chief Executive Officer of the Valoka for Company, he pioneers leadership and entrepreneurship development training programs designed to inspire, challenge, and transform participants into high impact leaders. His methodology is grounded in innovation, making him a sought after expert in conversations on youth empowerment, enterprise growth, and organizational transformation. His influence transcends borders and sectors. As a Nigerian youth SDGs champion, African Changemakers Fellow, Commonwealth Open Source leader, Yali West Africa Fellow, and the Fela Durotoye Leadership Network Ambassador, he exemplifies the power of purpose-driven leadership. He has participated in some of the world's most prestigious gatherings of changemakers, including the World Bank Group Youth Summit and the St. Petersburg International Economic Forum, amongst others, further solidifying his reputation as a global thought leader in human capacity and organizational development. His trailblazing work has earned widespread recognition, including the prestigious Award of Achievement from the 234 Project based in Texas, United States of America, for his social intervention initiatives, empowering, such as empowering underprivileged school children in Enugu State, Nigeria. Among his accolades are also his recognition as one of the top 100 most inspiring Africans from Opportunities Hub and the Innovative Young Africans Award from the International Internship University, India. Val is passionate about nation building and human capital development with a focus on equipping young leaders with the 21st century skills to tackle global challenges. This he does as a mentor on the Tony Elumelu Foundation Entrepreneurship Program. He is a force of innovation, a driver of meaningful change, and an inspiration to those striving to leave a mark in the world. His work redefines possibilities and sets new benchmarks for what leadership can achieve in Africa and beyond. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me make welcome our speaker for this morning, the person of Mr. Val Okafor. So good to have you join us here this morning. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much. The pleasure is all mine. I am super grateful to be on this platform to have this conversation with you, and I hope that our viewers are able to pick one or two lessons from it.
Yes, I hope so too. All right, so we just delve straight in. I know you're a very busy man, and I mean your schedule is quite tight, so I don't want to keep you here longer than usual. So, the theme for okay, let me just talk a little bit about Activate series and what bettered it, right? So, just like the name Activate, it birthed from the place of we discovered that there are potentials that lie dormant, especially in young people, entrepreneurs and business owners, to be specific, right? We don't really need anything new per se. There's nothing to be downloaded inside of us again, right? What is the potential inside of us need to be awakened, right? And that is how Activate series was bettered, right? And it's a monthly live webinar. We've had about three or four. In fact, I'll confess for this year, this is the first. We've tried to have so many, but one thing or the other. But I'm glad this is holding, in May, and we hope to have in June and continue. But we had a couple of them last year, and it was totally amazing. We've talked about goal setting. We've talked about the entrepreneurship mindset. We've talked about resilience and so many topics. And I just thought that, look, um, part of what is holding a lot of young people or entrepreneurs right now back is people are not being disciplined enough to lead themselves. And I believe that the leader is a mirror of their team, right? Whatever posture you take as a leader, your team also takes that posture. So I felt that it's just good that we have this conversation around this subject topic to be able to help people, who are going through this circle. How do they navigate? How do they break free? How do they make sure that they thrive, actually in leading themselves? We already have some sets of questions that we're going to be discussing and talking about. But as we go on, if you have questions, please feel free to put them in the comment section, and I'm going to pick it up from there. All right. So our first question for this morning is so let's look at leadership in context now. From your experience, how is business leadership different from just running a business, especially in the Nigerian environment where many leaders are self-taught, right? So how is this? Is there any different, from your own experience?
First of all, I'd like to thank you, Mr. Collins, and your team for starting the Activate series. I love the word activate because, when you mentioned that, I just looked at my debit card on the table right now. You see, for this card to work effectively, it had to be activated. and I will not be able to withdraw money from my account without that process of activation. So yeah, I could have a billion naira in my account, but without this card, I wouldn't be able to access that money. And so that's how many people are. They have a lot stuck on the inside of them, but they've not been able to press the activate button. And nobody's going to press it for you. You will press it by yourself by actually going out to do something in relation to your potential. So that's just to set the foundation, also consolidate what Colin said. Now, your question is very important. How is business leadership different from just running a business? You see, we live in a world, and I've had this conversation on air, on television, where we talked about business leadership. A lot of people start business simply because they want to survive, and justifiably so. All right, because they want to put food on the table, because they want to meet both, make ends meet, because they want to take care of family and every other person associated with them. So yeah, it's fine, right? But you see, the problem with that is there's no structure. There's no structure, there's no accountability, there's no system, there's no process to that. And that's why business leadership is different from just running a business. So somebody can start running a business because they want to survive, because they want to pay rent, they want to pay school fee, and he doesn't even know what vision is about, or what mission is about, or what creating real solution that affect the lives of customers or clients. He doesn't have an idea. So he doesn't know what sustainability is, doesn't know what board governance is about, doesn't know what brand reputation is about. So come on. So he just goes about, does his business the way he learned it from his mom or his dad or from friends. And when it collapses and that business fails, he finds who to blame. So business leadership is simply a structured learning process, a structured system or structure, put in place to be able to um, uh, define that business journey, define where the business is going. So before you even start that business, there are certain things you have learned about it. Like problem identification. Why am I starting a business? Because you've identified a need. You have identified a need, you have gotten a starving crowd, and you're actually serving them with the solution you have created in form of a product or a service. So, and so leadership is just simply the ability to take responsibility. Now we are bringing it
Mm.
into business. Is the ability to take responsibility for the problems that exist, and then you are creating a solution that solve that problem, and people are giving you their money in exchange for your solution.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you. There some things stuck with me while you were speaking, especially when you talked about structured learning, right? Because, like I said, well, because of the society where we live in, people start business for different reasons, and just like you pointed out, right? But well, it might be the wrong reason, but now that you are in business, now that you have started, it's not still okay to continue blindly on that path, right? It's time to get things right. And one of the ways to do that, just like you said, having structured learning, which is why we are having these conversations today, and taking responsibility, right? I mean, shifting of blames won't do anything, right? Oh no, is this? Oh, the supplier. Oh, it's because this happened, because that happened. I mean, you wouldn't go far like that, right? Thank you so much, sir, for that. So let's move forward. Um, Still talking about um, uh, founders, or entrepreneurs or business owners, right? So you look at many small business owners today as the, in quote, do everything founders, right? And sometimes you really don't blame them. I mean, as a one man starting, you are the accountant, you are your marketing, you are your brand specialist, you are the customer rep, you are everything. Now, at what point should business owners begin to transition, into a true leader? And what does this transition look like in real practice today?
It's a beautiful question, and it's okay to start as one man doing everything. What you need to do is move away from that one man to actually multiplying yourself in other people. and that's when you have a team. So it depends on the vision that you have for that business. If you have created a vision to solve complex problems for a large number of people, you know that you're not going to do that alone, right? You know that you're not going to do that alone. You need to now invite people to help you on that journey. People who have different skill sets, people who have business development skill set, people who have branding skill set, people who have corporate communication skill set. They will now help you to move your business from where it is to the next level. So,
mm,
so at what point do you transition? At the point where you know that you have to solve more problems. The more problems you solve, the more revenue
yeah,
you get, the more
yeah.
clients you get, the more income you generate. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but if you're comfortable in remaining small, then it's okay. I mean, you can just go to your shop, open it, close it, open it, close it, open it, close it, and for 10 years you are doing the same thing. But if you want to
Mhm,
transcend, you want to impact more lives, you want to solve more
mhm,
problems, you know
mhm,
that I need hands now. I need more
mhm,
people. I need a manager. I need a corporate
mhm,
communications lead. I need a sales lead. I need an accountant, right? I need a brand designer to be able
mhm,
to tell our stories more so that more people will see what we are doing and give us
mhm,
opportunity to help them solve their problems. So you're moving
mhm,
away from a location in Lagos to say a district, and from a district you're covering regions, right? So it starts from here. What do you
mhm,
see and how far can you see? How far you can see determines the capacity of the team and the largeness of the team,
mhm,
as the case may be. So at the point where you have identified that I need to solve more problems
mhm,
to be able to make more money and affect more lives, then you now get people to help you do that. Let me give you a practical example with myself. So when I started in 2021, it was the first time I ever designed a solution called Next Level Conversation Young Leaders Program. So I
mhm,
had worked, I've volunteered, done a lot of jobs, trained myself, and in 2021 I started out putting in response to people's question. I designed that program. I was responsible for onboarding. I was responsible for putting them in class. I was responsible for sending certificates via email. I was responsible for following up. Have you joined the class? Have you done the assignment? Have you done everything? I was responsible for all of those activities. At some point, I couldn't do that anymore.
wow.
It became burdensome for me, and then I had to get more people to join me, right? So right
Yeah.
now our communities are growing with thousands of young people in it, and we are designing initiatives for businesses, organizations, designing solution blueprints while the communities are still growing, right? So
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to help organizations design CSR initiatives or have conversation with government stakeholders, development partners, if I don't have somebody who is overseeing programs, if I don't have somebody
Yeah.
overseeing operations, if I don't have
Yeah.
somebody overseeing sales and marketing, right? Or brand
Yeah.
design. So it
Yeah.
depends on what you can see and how far you want to
Mm.
solve problems. That will now lead you to getting more hands into your business.
Amazing. Depends on how far you can see and the problem. I totally agree with you, and I'm sure that most people on this live can relate to that, most especially founders. At first is and this reminds me of something I read during the week. The person said, that a weak foundation for a weak foundation, growth would look more like stress, than a blessing. So if you don't have some of these structures and systems in place, when you begin to expand, when customers begin to come, just like the LFC program you talked about, I'm sure maybe as you did other cohorts or continued, the numbers increased. More people started coming and all of that, right? So, but if you didn't get people, if you didn't have systems, you don't have structures in place, I don't know. Maybe you would. And I saw your post. Congratulations. Was it of recent where you say NLC was 4? I don't know if it's a recent post, but I
Five.
know I saw
NLP will be
5.
5 June. Yeah.
Oh wow, wow, wow! Congratulations!
Yeah.
Such an amazing journey. And the numbers, I think you've trained over 1,000 people who
Over
has passed.
1,500
Wow,
across
wow,
8 countries.
Wow, wow,
Yeah.
that's simply amazing, simply amazing. Thank you so much. So let's look at, managing people now. I put together this. There's a scenario question for us here. Before we come to about hiring and all of that. Let's look at cash flow and people. So there's an example here that says, let's say a small business is struggling with cash flow, and the owner has to decide between paying staff salary fully or reinvesting in stock to keep the business alive. That's perhaps maybe buying more products or whatever, right? So as a leader, what should guide the decision that this business owner should take? Should he take his limited resource and pay staff salary? This is quite dicey, and pay staff salary, or should he take that resource and restock his business? What should guide that decision?
Wow, wow, wow. It's a very dicey question, more like a dilemmatic one. But here's the thing, I've been in that position before because I was an executive director of a health facility where I managed six visiting doctors, nurses, and auxiliary nurses with a lab technician. So there was a time our clients dropped, our patients dropped in number, and we were faced with paying staff and actually getting the stock back, like injections, tablets, all of those things. Mm. Number one, I'm not a medical doctor. I've not been trained in any medical school. I was managing that facility. And the
Yeah.
people who would do the work, had to do the work if that business will run.
Mm-hmm.
So if at all it is open, people will work in it. People will
Mm-hmm.
administer to patients. People will. So
Mm-hmm.
you just have to reach a compromise.
Yeah.
Speak to the team, speak to the staff. This is what is going on. This is what we are facing. I understand your plight. I understand things are difficult. I've done it. I'm sharing with you what I've done. I'm telling you
Mm.
what I did. Okay, so this is
Mm.
not theory, and anybody can actually share their own experience. But this was what I did. I'll call a
Okay.
meeting. I'll let everyone know, hey guys, inflow has been little. All right, inflow has been little, and you guys can attest to that fact that the sales we had in January, is better than the sales we're having in March due to reasons
Yeah.
I cannot explain. I don't know why. So the reason you've not gotten your salary as that when due is not because I chose to keep the money. It's actually because of these problems. So you constantly need to have transparent and open conversation with the team and let the team understand what is going on. So if you keep quiet, they will assume that you are being selfish. They will assume that you do not really care about their efforts and their contributions. So I
Mm-hmm.
advise that you have open conversation,
Yeah.
because every businesses differ, and what works for me may not be what works for you. So that's why I
Yeah.
cannot give a straight jacket answer to say, okay, this. So in my own case, I had a conversation with the team and I told them what was on ground at the time. And it was a phase. We passed that phase. Yeah, we passed the phase and everybody was happy once again. But they want to see that you care. They want to see that genuine compassion. They want to understand that you actually have them in mind. All right. So you don't use the excuse of things are hard, things are hard, things are hard. We know things are hard. Things are also hard for them in their various families, right? And they need money to be able to
Yeah.
solve those problems. So, but if
Yeah.
you can be human enough to tell them, I believe every rational person will understand with you. And when the coast clears and when the dust settles, you'll be able to settle them. Yeah.
Mm. Thank you so much. I think I buy into your line of thought also, especially in the time in times of communication, right? So one of the worst things that can happen during that period is for the leader or for the business leader to be silent, about whatever is happening. So it's good that you communicate, you address these issues, and then you also make them know, look, just like you said, you understand things are hard, make them feel like, and which is not just make them feel you are actually going through what, because I mean, I'm sure that even you as the manager perhaps were not paid for that time, so it's not like you paid yourself and left
Yeah.
them behind. Yeah, you were
Mhm,
also, I
mhm.
mean, we are in this together, and all of that. So
Mm-hmm.
it's important that people communicate, whatever the scenario is, and I agree with your line of thoughts. Thank you so much. All right, so let's look at the last another question. I almost said the last question. All right, so let's talk about hiring. I'm still talking about perhaps salary and all of that, right? What are some practical ways small business owners can hire the right people and build trust, right? Hire, because I mean, uh, you said something when you were talking about the time to transition to hiring a team. You said something about duplicating yourselves in others, right? But again, how do you hire the right people? Because it takes time to spend good amount of time with people before you duplicate yourselves, and then so how do you even hire the right people to know that this is the kind of person that's been able to learn, or that can do this business and all of that, especially when you cannot afford high salaries or big HR structures.
Mm. This is a very fantastic question. How do you peep into the mind of people just by hearing them speak? And so,
Yeah,
how do you know the capacities of people? It's by watching them do, by watching them take action. So, I've sat
yeah.
on tables where I am assessing the qualities and capacities of potential employees.
Mhm.
Now, one of the things that we look out for is experience.
Mm.
Have you done this before, whether paid or unpaid? What have you done outside what is written on your document? What have you
Yeah,
done? We want to hear you share your experience with us, right? And
yeah.
and when that person demonstrates the desire to learn, right? You bring them in and mentor them and teach them.
Mm. Mm.
I just a few days ago we hired a video editor for a very big brand. So clearly that lady is a beginner, clearly. But why did we
Wow.
hire her? She demonstrated the desire to learn. She was so honest. We showed her some videos of the works that we need, like, do this editing. She said, I cannot do that. I don't know how they added this one. I don't know how they did this one, but
Wow.
I am open to learn. I want to learn. And that was it for us. That was it
Wow.
for us. That
Wow.
demonstration to learn, you know, is one way that you can pick people. And as they come in, you now mentor them, you expose them to the right opportunities, the right growth pathways. And
Yeah.
why will they accept the offer as well? They will accept the offer because you're not just promising money, you're promising a convenient platform for growth. You're
Yeah.
promising, a comfortable environment where their potentials can be harnessed.
Hmm.
So if you don't have millions to pay, do you have a structure that actually will stretch them? If they go through your system, will they become better people? That's what we should focus on, and that's what
Mm.
founders should be able to do in order to bring in people. You're talking about trust, right?
Yeah.
Trust is earned. Yeah, trust is earned when there is a genuine concern for growth. Mhm.
Yeah.
When there's a
Yeah.
genuine concern, I tell leaders this a lot. You see, people do not care how much you know until they know how much you care.
Mm.
So,
Mm.
do you care about their personal lives as well? Do you care about their ambitions, or you care about the bottom line? I mean, there's nothing wrong with caring about the bottom line. We need the money to run the business. However, the people running that business, the foot soldiers running the business, also need to be taken care of. Imagine not maintaining your car. You just enter, you drive. You just enter, you drive.
Mm.
You don't check the
Mm.
oil. You don't check the water level. You don't check the fuel.
Mm.
One day your engine will just knock in the middle of the road.
Mm.
One day, because you've refused to access your car, you refuse to take care of it, and that's what happens with employees. If you don't
Mm.
care about them, they will treat your work as though they don't care about it.
Mm, mm. Thank you so much, sir. I think I also agree with you on this. But there's something you said, and I've heard, some people not agree with that, where you said something about learning, and they said, look, I'm employing you, I'm going to be paying you, so why are you using my work to learn? So how do we justify that? Because uh, I, some feel like, look, I'm bringing you on board to do this work, so I expect that you should be able to do it and not use me as the sample, my business as a sample guinea pig, now in quotes, to learn. So how do we balance this? Just a follow
Okay,
up to that.
so yeah. It's an interesting question, and let me just correct something. I didn't say you are coming with to the table without a spoon. No,
Okay.
you're coming
Okay.
to the table with a spoon and a willingness to learn, a willingness
Okay.
to grow. Let me tell you the honest truth. If you like have a PhD in economics, finance, or accounting, once you step into the banking system, you are subjected to training. They are going to
Absolutely.
train you on the vision and mission of that bank, the ideas
That's
of
true.
that bank, the mode of operation of that bank. You will keep going for training and retraining. Some even go abroad to train themselves, even though they have a master's in economics. So there is no environment you step into that you're going to use residual knowledge to succeed. It's not possible.
Mm,
The founder
mm,
has something in mind that they want you to be able to clearly communicate their vision to them, even though
mm,
you've gone around the world to learn that this is
mm,
my business, this is what I've conceived. You didn't conceive the vision with me. I conceived this vision. I want to pass this vision to you to do it, so I want you to do it this way. So
mm.
it's a learning curve for everybody, regardless of your status. However, what I understand your question. What we're trying to say is that when you're coming to the
Yeah.
table, don't come empty-handed. Come with a spoon,
Yeah.
and that spoon is actually an entry point. The skill that you
Yeah.
have, all right, the capacity you have demonstrated is an entry point. So when you come
Yeah.
into that system, we are saying, are you open to learning? Are you open to stretching yourself? Are you open to learning more things that will help you to do your work well? Right? And so that's it.
Hmm. Yeah.
That's it.
All right. Thank you so much. So let's move on to the next question. I think we've dwelled on that so much. And dear viewers, I hope that you're gaining value. Please do let us know in the chat, about what you're learning. If you have questions, you can put them also, and we'll be sure to attend to them. All right. So let's look at another scenario. Still talking about employees, right? And performance and all of that. So now imagine you have a loyal employee who has been with you from the beginning, right? But for some reason, is now underperforming and affecting your business growth. Now, what should the business leader do? Do you prioritize loyalty over performance, or how should the business, leader handle such situation or that conversation?
Hmm. Wow, it's another dicey question because when people stay with you for a long time, there's something called familiarity complex. So
Yeah,
familiarity complex come to play. I know how you started the business. I know how we all started. We started from scratch. Now we are on the 10th floor.
yeah,
So yeah, there's the tendency to not really giving your best because we've been here from the beginning and see where we
yeah,
are today. He cannot sack me because and all of so the leader must be able to draw the line. The
yeah.
leader must be able to establish boundaries. The leaders must be able to put structures in place. If you don't put structures in place, it's going to be difficult for people to actually draw the line between performance and loyalty, right? Yeah. So just make it
Mhm.
clear that this is business and we cannot compromise on standards regardless of how long we've known each other. We cannot compromise. It's not about me, there's nothing personal. It's about
Yeah.
serving our clients, about solving their problems for them and solving it excellently well. And when you go against what we stand for, then you are a
Mhm.
loophole. All right, you are a loophole. You are a gap that needs to be filled up. So you do it very diplomatically. You do it tactically, so that you will not also hurt the person who has built with you from the very beginning. Yeah, so but
Beginning.
that line must be drawn. A clear line must be drawn. Yeah, see, let's be able to separate work and our personal dealings. personal
yeah,
lives, and that
yeah,
way, things will be done. That's why chief of operations is very important in a business. Operations manager who actually undertakes the responsibility of ensuring that things are done. For some companies, it's HR, right? Ensuring that things are done well. So there's a reason people put HR. There's a
yeah.
reason people put HR there, a reason people put structures in place because familiarity can come. Let me give you an example with one of the programs we are running for a company called the Solar Enterprise Hub. Is a grant
Okay.
program. So this company is their CSR every year. They set aside some money to help young entrepreneurs. Now, when we launched the first cohort, one of the applicants was a classmate through the GMD.
Wow.
Yeah, they went to the same university. So he applied for that opportunity. He applied for that opportunity. And the
Wow.
GMD told me clearly that there should be a disclaimer that the company has no hand in the selection and onboarding or shortlisting of any applicant. And we had to do that. However, this particular person understood boundary. He understood professionalism. Do you know that for one day, he didn't reach out to the GMD, even though they were classmates? I'm talking
Wow.
about this James is a billionaire. Yeah, he's a billionaire, he's successful. He never reached out to him to lobby, he never reached out to him to help until he made it to the pitch competition. He pitched
Wow.
and came third. Now the prize we gave for third was 500,000 naira. But guess
Wow.
what? Guess what? Because of that singular reason, because of that singular act, the GMD came on board and said, you know what? This man, we've been classmates, he never reached out to me for everything. I'm going to add 1 million naira to the money you have
Wow.
won.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
So you see,
That's
yeah,
yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah. So you see that. So he understood that people will, church members will reach out, friends will reach
Yeah.
out, family members will
Yeah.
reach out. Uncle, give us money. Brother, give us money. He said, no, we have a pathway to actually give him money. So try. If you have a business idea, why not apply? All right. So, and if you win the money, you get the money.
Yeah.
That is structure to avoid that
Mm.
familiarity complex. And it's very difficult to
Yeah.
deal with people you've known for a long time. It's really difficult, except there's structure in place. Yeah, so there are
Yeah.
people who know me. People know me very well, okay? Or for some reason, it's about like a church, for example, come and do this, come and do that, come and do this. And on my own volition, I can say, okay, I want to do this, right? But there's a structure I put in place for those who want to reach out to me. Well, we want you to come and speak here. I say, okay, they just send an email to this. And once you send an email, my executive assistant picks it from there, and she's very strict, very, very strict. And she's going to say, no, you're not going to speak here. Or you're not going to speak here until they're able to fulfill all the requirements, the payment, everything. They ensure the
Yeah.
flight is booked, the accommodation is secured, all the logistics feeding, everything. And she's been
Yeah.
interfacing with a whole lot of people. So that is in place. It's not me, oh, Shay, you see, I did my day, oh, it's not me, oh, can you see?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
It
not
is
me,
very
oh, so,
important. Yeah.
yeah, it's
It
very important to do that.
is.
Very
It is.
important to do that.
It is. It is. Thank you so much. I know, and she has to do that because, at least I've interfaced with you, a couple of times. I follow you on social media
Yeah.
and all of that, and I know the kind of person you are. You are maybe the kind of person that might be saying yes to everybody if they leave you. So it's important that you have somebody who can stand the ground and all of that. And then I like what you said, when you were answering this question about, look, though you started with me from the beginning, but it's not about me, it's about the customer, right? It's
Yeah.
about the people we are serving, right? So we should be able to draw boundaries, we should be able to have systems in place to ensure that, look, everybody, even the CEO himself, I've seen, companies, organizations who have these things in place, just to make sure that, look, um, even if it's me, this is the standard. And I like what you said, I think it was a question before this, where you said banks even train people, right? So it doesn't matter where you are coming from, doesn't matter at the level which they are hiring you, must understand the vision and everybody must align to it, right? Because there's a goal, there's where we are going to. right, and all of
Mm-hmm.
that.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Right. I think we've answered like our 6 questions or there so thereabout, and we have 10 questions prepared. Thank you so much. You're doing a fantastic
Wow.
job, sir, and I'm really and I'm really enjoying myself here. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So let's look at again I mean, most of our audiences are Nigerians, right? And the Nigerian to do business in Nigeria is very volatile in quote, right? So you see that businesses often face sudden policy changes, inflation, disruptions, and the rest. How can a leader maintain stability and confidence, especially within their team during uncertain times, right? Where you just woke up one day, price of diesel has moved from, I don't know, maybe 800 to 2000. See, we just woke up, fuel moved from, is it 900 to 13, some 15, you know. I mean, it changes a whole lot of things for people who perhaps operate generator or diesel and have to run all through the day. You know, I mean, it affects everything, both both your cost price or your selling price, both. I mean, everything is affected. So how does a leader still maintain confidence and be able to communicate this to their team during uncertain times like this?
Thank you very much. So, one of the characteristics of a good leader is flexibility, the ability to adapt to current trends and changing situations. There are 13 ideologies in leadership, and I think the 13th one is adaptability. Yeah, there's
Mm,
something called adaptive leadership when you're
mm,
able to flexibly go through, navigate,
mm,
through situations. It means you are adaptive. In
mm,
2020, COVID hit the world and it
mm,
disrupted systems. It disrupted the way we did things. Me
mm,
and you now have to use StreamYard. It
mm.
was in 2020 that StreamYard, Zoom, all of these
Yeah,
conference calls, all of these
yeah.
applications became very profound and very popular.
Mhm,
We had to
mm,
learn. Human beings are
mm,
creatures of necessity. We just adjust, right? Now, so you
yeah.
have to like tell the team, this is what is on ground. What do we do? What do we do? Do we create a new product? There's something called breakthrough product, and I think Gala did that. Gala, where they had to now reduce the size of Gala to I think either
Yes.
100 naira or 50 naira. There was a time
Small.
Gala
Yes.
reduced. It's called breakthrough products. When you have inflation, when you have high cost of things, you just create a product that everybody can buy. Like a lot of people
Mm,
can buy at a given rate. So it's to discuss with the team. What do we do? Right? There's a high rise in price and in the cost of running this business. Do we create a new product that fits this market at this point in time? Or do we reduce? I mean, because you're also talking about the team. Do we reduce your frequency of coming to the office to say, okay, you come in 2 days physical, you do 3 days hybrid? All of these things
yeah.
are decisions that the leader and the team would have to discuss, in the
Yeah.
face of disruption, in the face of
Yeah.
uncertainty. So it's for you to be able to actually find a way out of it. Just have a conversation with the team and let everyone tell you from their own point of view, from their own lens, and you can pick up that, and you guys can create a solution that at least influences to a large extent the team's performance.
All right. Thank you so much. I agree with that completely. And it's interesting you mentioned COVID because a lot of things have changed after then. Even in churches, organizations. I mean, you can virtually be anywhere in the world now and work anywhere because there's remote job and all of that, right? And it's
Yeah,
creating more opportunities and a whole lot of that. So there are options to explore, and this next question is almost similar to the one I just asked because um, although I tagged it like a mindset shift, but again, sometimes business leaders have to take or make decisions even when they don't have full information, right? Because things are changing. Like I said, we live in an environment that is volatile in quotes, and things change very often. So what frameworks, or what mindset shift can help small business owners make better decisions quickly, especially when they don't have the full information yet, concerning a particular thing.
Okay, so I mean, it's simple. By simple, I mean there are people who have done it before you. It's
Yeah.
just copy and paste. Yeah, the people who have, yeah, nothing is new really. And I
Yeah.
like to say that if you want to arrive at the destination of giant, just put your legs in their footprint. There are people who
Mm,
navigated that path. There are people who have
mm,
done it before. All you need to do is to look at what they did and replicate it in your own situation, right? That way,
mm,
you are able to now. Nobody can. We don't have the gift to be able to know what will happen tomorrow. Okay,
mhm.
so we just I call it adventure capital. Okay, just
Okay.
to explore, put your legs in the waters and see
In
how
the
that
water.
goes. But what you can do is to identify people who have done it before and do what they did. You will arrive at almost the same destination.
All right. Thank you
So
so
the
much.
lived experiences, yeah, the experiences of these entrepreneurs who have gone ahead of us serves as blueprints. Yeah.
Yeah. I always like to give this example that, for example, if I'm traveling from Abuja by road to what town is close now, let's say to Lokoja, or to somewhere around Abuja, or to Kaduna, for example. It doesn't make sense for me to begin to say, I want to, I'm the first person going to Kaduna. Then I start making my own road path. Go get bulldozers. They are clearing the road for me. I mean, it might take me 3 years, 2 years maybe to get to Kaduna now. So a journey
Yeah.
of 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours will take you a longer time if you decide to do it on your own, right? So there are people who have gone ahead, who have traveled that path. So just simply, go through the path that they have created, and it becomes really easy for you. Thank you so much, sir. Right. So let's look at now for a business that is starting. Okay. We talked about standards, we talked about having boundaries and a whole lot of other things, during the course of our conversation, right? But let's look at a scenario here. A customer offers a big contract. This contract can change your business. It's in millions, maybe close to even hundreds of millions, but expects you to cut corners, to compromise your standards. Now, for a small business owner trying to grow, I mean, that's really tempting. You know, sometimes it looks as if the choice is obvious, but let's talk about this, honestly. What should the leader do? Sometimes taking that, not taking it could mean, in quotes, sometimes your business even shutting down or not, growing above a particular level. So what should a leader do to make sure that maybe at the end of the day you still secure this contract?
Mm. It's a difficult one, to be very honest. And I'm not going to pretend as though it's not tempting. It is
Yeah,
tempting. Hundreds of millions that can change the face of your business, that can also change your life and the
yeah,
lives of your team members. It's very tempting.
yeah.
But let's also look at it from this perspective.
Okay.
What's the worst that can happen? Possibly you stay at that level for some time, you're not going to grow and all that. And what is the possibility of getting a bigger contract
Yeah,
that will not demand you to cut corners? What are the
yeah,
odds? So I think we should
yeah,
look at it from that lens again. What values do you have as a business person? Are these strong convictions that help you? So we have more than 8 billion people in the world. Any one of them can
yeah,
offer you another contract that will not ask you to bring your grandfather's tail
yeah,
or teeth. People who want to do genuine business are there honestly, and they're looking for people who are trustworthy. When you cut
mhm,
corners, let me tell you, when you cut corners with that person, believe me, you have already created a stigma, you've already created a loophole. Yeah. When it's time to offer genuine contract, they will not come to you. It's going to go to
yeah,
another person because
yeah.
he believes that if you can cut corners for me, you probably have been cutting corners for other people. So
Yeah,
that's it. This
yeah,
thing I'm saying sounds easy, but it's very hard though. It's very difficult. You must have strong value system to be able to reject these kind of offers. And if your business needs a certain structures, please go get them. If you need EFCC clearance, go get your EFCC clearance, NAVDAC number, SON, anything, especially for those in manufacturing, but anything that is, can make your business to be accredited or, standard, start getting them little by little so that when an opportunity comes, you not blame anybody.
Yeah.
You're actually prepared to receive them. Yeah. So I
Yeah.
think the bottom line is actually value system. Are you in business because you want to survive? You want to just solve your immediate needs. What about years to come? What about, have you thought of billions? Have you thought of trillions? It's possible, So that's the mindset. It's difficult, but at the end of the day, we all do things based on the value system that we've set for ourselves.
All right. Thank you so much. I agree with you. And that thing you said concerning, because what people don't realize is that your actions, you're leaving a track record, right? And once trust is very delicate. Once broken, it's very difficult to be restored, right? So once you've given that impression that you can cut corners, just like you said, and do you know what? These same people, even when you reject them, will refer people to you who are looking for honest people. They'll tell
Yes,
you, no, if it's you need somebody to do that job, give this person and go and sleep. I trust him. I know
I
that
know
he will be able
that
to
he will
do
be
this.
able to do
You
this.
know, so it's
So
very
it's
important
yes.
very
what you
important
say.
what you say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know
So
why I'm
I don't
hearing
know why I'm
myself
hearing
back.
myself back. Check.
Okay, I guess it's from my end. There's a
Okay.
call on the other end, signifying that I have to
Okay.
be in another meeting at this point in time.
Okay. Oh
Okay.
wow.
Oh wow.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Okay.
wow. Okay.
Let me look at the
Let me look
questions
at
we
the
have. I
questions
think
we
we've
have. I think we've
exhausted enough
exhausted
questions. Oh, we
enough
just have.
questions. Oh, we just have.
Okay, let's take the
Okay,
last
let's
question
take
in
the last
personal
question.
leadership growth,
Personal
and we call
leadership
it a
growth,
wrap,
and we
please.
call it a wrap,
Is that
please.
okay, sir?
Is that okay, sir?
All right, let's
Yeah.
conclude on
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, because
Okay.
this
All
is
right. Yeah,
very,
because
very
this is
important.
very, very important.
Now, let's
Now,
look at
let's look at
habits.
habits.
Um, what are some
What are
daily
some daily
or weekly
or
habits
weekly habits
that have helped
that
you
have
grow
helped?
as a leader, and that small business owners here can realistically adopt? What are some
Some
daily or weekly
daily or
habits that have
weekly
helped you
habits that
grow
have
as a
helped you
leader,
grow as a leader,
and that small
and that
business
small
owners here
business owners
can
here can
realistically adopt?
realistically adopt?
Last question.
Okay, so I'm going to share three things that work for me. Number
Okay.
one is I'm somebody that is driven by vision.
Okay.
See, without vision, imagine yourself in a dark room. You will grope. Groping means to use your hands to find something. And
Yeah.
tendencies are you're going to fall, you're going to stumble. So when you grope in darkness, you fall because you don't have vision. There's no sight. So what is driving your life? Vision drives your life. Vision is who you are based on what you can see. So what you see influences your lifestyle, influences your association, influences the books you read, influences the actions and the decisions you take. So vision is number one. Do you have a vision that is driving your life and your business? Number two, self-discipline. I like
Mm.
what you said in the beginning. Motivation can get you started. Self-discipline is B. You see, I don't have option B. Either this works or it works. There's nothing on the fence. The bridge that leads backward, I have destroyed it. So it's forward ever, backward never. Self-discipline. Even when the odds are not in your favor, you're doing it. Elon Musk said that. Number three, I would say is continuous learning. The heart to learn, the heart to grow. I read, I watch videos almost on a daily basis for 8 years, non-stop. I learn something new that improves my life and makes my work better. So when people say things like, I love the way you do your things, is because I have mastered that
Mm.
excellence. So I'm working
Mm.
on it every day. If it's learning how to speak, I'm learning how to speak very well every day. Every day. I'm joining global conversation on how things should be done. So you see me listening into World Economic Forum, IMF, World Bank Summit is in June, or listening to know what's happening, and how I can make my work better. So these three things going to help you: vision, self-discipline, and continuous learning.
All right, there we have it. Thank you so much, Mr. Val Okafor. It's been such an amazing time with you here this morning. I'm sure that
I'm
viewers
sure
and
that
those who will
viewers
going to
and those
watch
who will going to watch
later this live
later
will
this
gain
live
a lot of
will
value
gain a lot of value
concerning the things that we
concerning
talked
the things that
about,
we talked about,
and a whole lot
and
of
a whole lot.
other, and a whole lot of other things. Yeah. Mohammed Aliu said continuous learning for sure. Yeah. These are timeless principles you just shared here this morning. Once again, thank you so much on behalf of myself and the entire team. We are so glad to have you here this morning, and I'm sure that when we knock on your door or on the door of your EA next time, it will still be open to us again. All right. So would allow you go now? Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. Okay. Bye bye. Yeah. Bye. All right, there you have it from Mr. Val Okafor. Such an interesting conversation we've had this series or this edition of Activate series, right? Please, when you rewatch this video, let us know what you learned, what you gained from the session and all of that. We'll be glad to have your feedback. Look somewhere around this video also. If you're yet to join the Activate series community, please do so. We will be keep you informed and abreast about this series. We trust that we'll be able to do this monthly. This is the May edition, and we hope that for June we are going to come back, perhaps also the first Saturday of June, also hopefully, and have this interesting conversation again. So that's it from me. Bye bye, and have a lovely weekend ahead of. Bye.